Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter, and welcome to my breakdown for week number 4 of the War of the Bounty Hunters epic crossover event. This week we have two Star Wars comics that tie into War of the Bounty Hunters. These are both Prelude issues for the month of May. The first one I'm going to go over is from, of course, Dr. Aphra. This is issue number 10, Prelude, the Invitation. So we pick up right where issue number 9 left off, and we have Aphra, we have Sana. They are trying to stop this competitor to Domina Tagge from basically activating this Nile path engine, which will be deemed completely messed up and destroy a bunch of innocent people. So Aphra thinks they should just get the heck out of there because General Vakora of the Unbroken Clan shows up and is trying to make a mess of things. But Sana has a good heart and says, we got to save these people. So Aphra goes in there. They extract the engine and get out, and they report back to Domina Tagge, and Domina has a new mission for them, and they have to go and find this contact, her own cousin, who has accepted a very interesting invitation, and that is their next mission. We also cut away to the character of Just Lucky, and he is with this other character named Ariel. They're working for a crime lord on Canto Bight, and last we left off, they were surrounded by a bunch of these misfits and whatnot. And, well, we pick up in this one, and they just easily handle all those people somehow. We don't see the action itself, but just the aftermath. And it turns out that they have another mission themselves, and they have to also go to this specific location. So in the end of things, it turns out that Dr. Aphra and Just Lucky are going to end up at the same location somewhere in the War of the Bounty Hunters crossover event. And, well, we also find out from Domina Tagge that there's been a mole in her ranks that is trying to sell information and whatnot, and these moles are getting taken care of and getting killed, but more pop up. And the same thing is kind of happening with the Sixth Kin, which is the Canto Bight crime syndicate that Just Lucky is part of. They're also having people disappear. And wouldn't you know it, that last panel of this issue has, Aphra has Just Lucky, they're in their ships going to the same planet, and we see a good old friend, a good old buddy, for those of us that have watched the Cartoon Network micro series of Clone Wars. That's right, our favorite bounty hunter, Dirge, has entered the arena for the first time in canon. So we're seeing Dirge showing up, and I think Dirge might be the one that is actually, having a bit of the control with the underworld, picking people off, because we've seen that one guy before, Kaz, that ended up dead from Just Lucky and Ariel, the one that, basically surrounded him, saying, hey, there's something big at play across the underworld, basically. And I think it is Dirge. So very cool stuff there. I like the whole thing with Aphra giving Domina Tagge that special crystal or whatever from that path engine, but knowing that she has leverage on her. Aphra always has leverage on everybody to basically say, hey, look, I could actually help you with this, so you need me. You need me to open this thing up down the line when that will come into play. I also like seeing stormtroopers playing the nice guys or the heroes of the story, because they're the ones that come in and they get to thwart the control of the general there, Vakora, and basically save the innocent people. So very cool to actually see why the Empire sometimes in some people's eyes is actually a good thing, fighting the crime, fighting the bad guys, the ne'er-do-wells. But yeah, overall, good issue, but I don't think this really tied in that well with Boba Fett's story and with Han Solo and Carbonite. It's going to be interesting to see what this invitation is for. Maybe a select group of bounty hunters that are going to go after Han Solo and Carbonite. But right now, this is kind of the weakest one as far as a prelude, because it seemed like the prelude was the last 5 pages, and most of the story was just finishing up the previous arc. But like I said, that wasn't all we had for War of the Bounty Hunters crossovers and tie-ins this week. We also had Darth Vader, issue number 12, Prelude, Into the Trap. So last we left off, very exciting issue where Vader went to Exegol and he decides to be subservient for the Emperor, finding out, hey, he has all this power. The Emperor has all this power. He craves that power, which means he has to be submissive to the Emperor and abides by his commands. So the Emperor takes him back to that same location. We see him return, or Revenge of the Sith, where he gets his, cybernetic implants, and he's getting replacement parts, because we know that he had the super battle droid arm, another super battle droid like he was really messed up. So he's going through this process of the Emperor just replacing the parts, and rather than getting a sedative, Vader wants to relish in the pain, wants to just feel the pain as his parts are being replaced right there and then. Then we have the different characters like Masameda, who's worried about, hey, is Vader's rage going to kill us? You know, he tried killing you, Emperor, and Emperor's just like, yeah, people have been trying to kill me for years. I'm not worried about my own apprentice. And in fact, that's the next point the Emperor is trying to make, is that if we give Vader something to keep his eye on, something for his anger to be channeled on, we never have to worry about ourselves because he'll be too busy doing with that. So throughout this whole issue, Vader is, you know, thinking back to the times of Luke Skywalker and why he didn't actually follow him in Empire Strikes Back, why he decided to jump off of that little, whatever that thing was in Cloud City, right? That little catwalk. And well, it turns out that, you know, he leads to one thing to another thing, and it turns out that Han Solo, you know, the connection that Luke had with friends was one of the reasons why he didn't turn to the dark side. So we see a flashback where Darth Vader, he's riding his TIE Advance after the destruction of the Death Star because he knows that Han, you know, shot his ship with a YT-1300. So he goes to Corellia where they have a bunch of YT-1300s, and you actually see like a Corellian plant of YT-1300s, a ton of them. And Han is there trying to get his hyperspace engine, whatever, fixed, hyperdrive fixed. And well, that's where we see Vader trying to hunt him down. So it's really cool seeing that snapshot of seeing Vader hunting down Han Solo, because you would think, we haven't really gotten a story about that in Star Wars, but you would think he would want revenge for the person that knocked him out of the sky from killing Luke the last second before the proton torpedo went down that exhaust shaft, right? So we go back to the present, and that is the idea that Darth Vader is going to use Han Solo as bait, because basically Darth Vader has come to the point saying that I want to kill Luke Skywalker now. He decided not to join me. He made up his mind, I have to just kill him. So the best way to kill him is to lure him, and to do that, he's going to get back Han Solo and Carbonite. But the problem is, Han Solo and Carbonite is not where it should be. It's not with Jabba. Jabba lost it. So now he's putting out information to this new hut that is involved called Boku the Hutt, and he uses Ochi of Bestoon as sort of like his envoy to go out and talk to this, you know, unsavory character. So the first time we're seeing Boku the Hutt, and Ochi's telling him, look, you gotta find Han and give him to us, and your position will be elevated. I guess he's a competitor for Jabba the Hutt. But yeah, great issue that really does tie in well to the motivations of why Darth Vader is going to be involved in the War of the Bounty Hunters. Seeing lots of cool looks at the Coruscant underworld, kind of where the Emperor is. Seeing the artwork was just fantastic. I like seeing that dirty, gingy look on the Emperor's face, and just his scowl and his smile and everything else. It just really revokes that Return of the Jedi feel, and just the introspection inside of Darth Vader's mind and what he's going through, like seeing all the past and the present and how that all intermingles, where his character is going to end up, you know, where we see him in Return of the Jedi there. So there you have it. Those are all the preludes. We got one for War of the Bounty Hunters prelude, you know, Precious Cargo with the Alpha issue, and then we got to see what Luke is doing with Chewie on Arshada and the Star Wars prelude. Then last week we got to see why Valance really cares about Han and why he wants to make it up to Han. And then this week we get to see Dr. Aphra not having a huge tie-in, like I said, to what is happening, at least that we know so far. But Darth Vader certainly has a reason to get Han Solo back, to use him as bait. At least that's what I think is going to happen. He's using him as bait for Luke Skywalker. And there's going to be a lot of fun to be had over these next couple months. And this is just the beginning. This was just the first month of the tie-ins. And I cannot wait to see where this really all comes to a head in the very first issue of War of the Bounty Hunters, which comes out actually a week from today as of me recording this right now. So I cannot wait for that. It's the comic event I've been looking forward to probably more than any other Star Wars comic event, period. So let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys share in all the excitement that I have for the Bounty Hunters? Let's talk about it down there, and do subscribe to the channel so that way you'll know whenever my breakdowns, my recaps of the future War of the Bounty Hunter books come out. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.